Hi, I'm Michael Haynes, and welcome to Listen, Innovate, Grow TV. Today, we're going to be speaking with Garreth Chandler. Garreth Chandler is the MD of the Evolve Group, as well as my co-author and good friend and co-author of our book, Listen, Innovate, Grow. Garreth, thanks for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you, Mike. Pleasure to be here.
Now, Garreth, can you provide for our viewers some tips about how to either identify for some companies existing customers to co-create with, as well as for startups that are looking to find those early adopters to work with? Can you give us some tips on how to identify those right kinds of customers to engage with?
Yeah, definitely. Again, a client that is often a second tier client in the market. So oftentimes that means they're pretty hungry to be able to win, and they're happy to innovate, and they're willing to take risks to be able to generate market share growth.
Yes.
We work a lot within retail, financial services, in media and education, and a lot of our clients sort of fit that profile, and we work with them almost exclusively. So being able to develop a really deep relationship with that client means it's not so much about going out and finding a particular client to co-create with, often their existing clients.
Yes.
And what you're trying to do is to understand, again, the problems they have and what they've got to do on their commercial strategy to be able to obtain market leadership and support that.
Okay, so it's finding those customers, understanding what they're trying to achieve, and where you think there might be opportunities to leverage what you're doing within your startup or SME to help them get there.
Exactly, because I think those co-creation relationships really happen most often in longer term, enduring, trusting relationships, because you do need to risk share.
Right.
So I would think it's unusual to find a client or a customer that you don't have any form of relationship with and go on a risk sharing journey because there's no shared history.
Right.
So typically we'll deliver a service to a client, develop a relationship, and then we might have a portfolio of 20 or 30 customers.
Yes.
And within that there might be 5 or 6 at a given point in time that are working on a particular project which is changing the way things are doing at the moment. And there's a shared understanding that that project might have shared risk, but what will come out the other side is a new way of doing things that has commercial benefits to them and helps enhance our product. So it's really being able to identify the problem within your existing customer set in terms of who you're choosing to work with.
Okay, so that really goes back then again to that need to be really listening, understanding what's going on with your customers and potential early adopters, so that you can understand, make those connections, identify those opportunities, and also start to build the relationship because you have that understanding.
Correct. Yeah, and also, I think within a company, there's a relationship with the organisation, but there's a relationship with the individual. Yeah. And oftentimes the individual is motivated, obviously to do a good job for the company, but also for themselves and their career to do something that's different, so they can be able to, embellish their career trajectory, to be able to have something that they can say they've done, that they've had a successful change management project. So again, it really is about understanding your clients in terms of their personality, their values and so forth, to be able to really develop a good relationship with someone to go on that journey.
Great. And finally, Garreth, are there any tips, any watch outs generally in terms of if you're going to co-create, what to be on the lookout for, potential hurdles, barriers, just general watch outs that they should be mindful of?
The key one is learning to say no, because if a client comes to you and they might have a range of about 20 or 30 different problems, and it might be that 20 of those 30 problems are ones that have no commercial benefit.
Okay.
So there's a finite amount of resources that we have in our business that we can allocate to doing things like product development that might not have an immediate commercial benefit.
Yes.
So if you try to do all 30 projects, you can end up tying your resources in non-commercially valuable activities and to the detriment of other commercial opportunities. So it can carry quite a high opportunity cost. So being able to understand a problem, scope it, to be able to say, does it have a broader applicability?
Yes.
If you develop a feature or a different way of doing things, is it defensible? Is it something that's going to benefit that client? And in the way that it benefits, is it going to have an enduring, annuity or monetization? So you have to be able to work through the rigors of knowing where to focus and be able to have a conversation with your client saying, I understand the problem.
Yes.
We're happy to do it. Maybe do it as a costed arrangement, but if you're going to subsidise it, you'll have to be able to learn to say no.
Okay.
Yep.
And so that ability to identify if there's that scalability is important, and that'll be important for both tech startups that are looking to become scale-ups and SMEs that are really looking to grow.
Yeah,
right.
So certainly, I guess within the context of being a development company, the concept of multi-tenanting is critical. And basically that means build once, use many times. So if you apply the lens over that, and back to the start of our conversation about saying, if one customer has that problem, then in all likelihood others will have that problem. But that isn't always the case. Sometimes one client has a problem that's quite specific to them, and that's when you have to have a different sort of relationship, which is more of a break fix, build fix for that particular client, and that's fine, we can do that, but it's certainly not something we'd be willing to fund some of that innovation, if you like, to be able to gain the abilities within our platform.
So looking for those multi-tenanted opportunities where you can really apply it in
Absolutely.
multiple customers, potentially multiple markets.
That's right.
That's great. Okay, Garrett, thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Pleasure.
So that's all for today's episode, folks. You can register, subscribe on our YouTube channel so you can get the latest episodes coming to you. Until next time, I'm Michael Haynes.